Bak oss det millioner av billioner av år. Foran oss det andre millioner av billioner.
There are millions and billions of years in the past. There are millions and billions of years ahead of us.
Og her vi, I midten av det hele.
And here we are, right in the middle of it all.
Midten av det hele nu.
The middle of it all is now.
Vi også midt I verdensrommet.
We're also in the middle of space.
Millioner av billioner av mil I alle retninger. Og her vi, I midten av det hele.
There are millions and billions of miles in all directions, and here we are, right in the middle.
Det får en til å stoppe og tenke seg om.
It makes you stop and think.
Aldri vil vi finne nettopp dette øyeblikket igjen. Ikke I millioner av år.
You'll never find this moment again in a million years.
La oss merke av dette øyeblikket som behøver seg.
Let's celebrate this moment in the proper manner.
Hvor de? De må være her, et eller annet sted. Å ja, skiene.
This is what we need to get there. Skis.
Tenke seg til at det finnes mennesker som ikke vet at det nu de prøver å finne.
And to think that some people don't know that it's now they're looking for.
En kan ikke kalle dette en utenlandsk film. Ikke uten at du sender den ut av Amerika.
You know, you can't call this a foreign movie, not unless you send it out of America.
Noen utenlandske filmer, kanskje.
Some foreign movie.
Hva var det?
What was that?
Kanskje dette vil bli en utenlandsk film efter alt.
Maybe it will be a foreign movie after all.
Den ser ut til å dyppe dypt ned I realitetene.
This is untranslatable.
Men selvsagt, dette Oregon.
But of course, this is a symbol of Oregon. The best way to get to Timberline is to fly, unless you're in a hurry. If you drive, follow the signs. Rhododendron 3, zigzag 1. The road to Timberline is lined with wildlife. In wild colors at all seasons of the year. You can even lie down in a bed of wild flowers, and it may be wilder than you think. Because of this happy ant, whose father has just said to him, "My boy, someday all this will be yours." And our ant jumps for joy as he looks over the South 40 and the North 36. All summer long, you can follow the motorized mattresses to Disneyland in the sky and watch Brunhilde, the versatile St. Bernard and a member of the ski patrol, as she drives one of the Timberline buses to summer school. This is the wife of the innkeeper, Molly Kohnstamm. Timberline St. Bernards no longer plow through the blowing snow with a barrel of brandy tied to their collars. They're trained to walk like professional models by balancing books or other comforts on their heads. And they like the working conditions. Nowadays, you can climb Mount Hood with all the comforts of a mechanized easy chair. It's something like having color television all around you. The only trouble is you can't get up and run to the refrigerator. But in a way, Timberline is a great big refrigerator, and you're inside, safe from commercials, with goodies all around. Let's watch the tourists at the top of the Magic Mile, where the tour guide hurries them along because they've allotted only 7 minutes to climb Mount Hood. And a minute to consider Mount Jefferson off to the south. Why do mountain climbers climb Mount Hood? Because, as Mallory said, it's there. And because Dick Kohnstamm had the 24-passenger snowcat to get us there. Dick thinks Mount Hood is getting bigger and bigger, an illusion he creates by trying to get smaller himself. Our climbers find a group of skin divers who swam up through the soft snow from the Timberline pool, trying to find the elusive goldfish that always seems to be just ahead. What do climbers do when they're ready to head down the slope? They look for creature comforts, as most creatures do. They seldom look for other creatures. They scoop up snow and prepare a toast to their solitude. One of them says, "Isn't it great to be up here all alone?" And thus, as our mountaineers create their own loneliness, we must ask ourselves if there are abominable snowmen or other wildlife lurking. Is this what is going on in the Himalayas? Do the searchers for the Yeti refuse to look back over their shoulders? So they plant the flag, unaware that they're being watched. And they drink from their melancholy cup and catch up on their reading, dreaming the dreams that mountain climbers dream. But not everyone climbs. Some ride the chairlift or the escalators. Late in fall, the skiers strap themselves to their poles and get ready for the big snows that are hiding at the top of Mount Hood. And then they roll a snowball down the track. Finally, the waiting is over, the snows descend, and life begins. Here are two snow removal groups, those who shove the snow aside and those who unwittingly make it melt. Most of the skiers are ready to let gravity take over, although this lovely falling object doesn't want to go as fast as her skis, and she flies a sort of sea anchor to hold her back. And here's a college student who thinks he's still in a drive-in movie, and he growls, "Can't you leave us alone?" Jumps out of a window and slides down the road. A catload of skiers heading up. Down below is the lodge at 6,000 feet. And this is Mount Hood from Illumination Rock. There are expert ski instructors at Timberline, such as Eric Seiler, Hans Wolfram, and Carl Bauer. Some skiers conjure fantasies as they look at the snow and see things that aren't there. Some of them, as we have seen, develop visions of the community bathtub down at the lodge. Some of them try so hard to create a mirage that they don't see other skiers. Some of them see red swimming suits splashing in the snow. But some of us are not thus blessed. All we see here are acres and acres of snow, on top of which is a lonely skier who isn't the kind of vision we're looking for. He says, "It wasn't like this in olden times, back at the beginning of this film when it was going to be a foreign movie. Man, we really conjured up visions of red swimming suits in those days." But visions change, at least points of view change. Look at this point of view, which looks as though it's on level ground, an optical situation that can be overcome. The one in front is a Westerner, accustomed to being alone. Like so many of us Oregonians, he thinks he's the only one there. He has this great big mountain all to himself the whole year around, where he can ski up to the middle of August. Behind him is a big city skier who pretends that he's a taxi driver for the mafia. And he sees a touchable up ahead. Culturally speaking, this kind of skier has replaced the hostile Indian and the trigger-happy cowpoke in keeping Westerners jumpy and alert. He pretends he's going to toss his victim up into an awning, just as in TV. And there he goes, downhill all the way. That's the way it is with Timberline skiers. They ride one of the caps all the way up to 10,000 feet, then they follow the trail back to Timberline. Note how narrow the trail has become. Only by shrewd pelvic manipulation is he able to stay on course. The trail's only 2 miles wide. But some skiers want to get something done. Besides just looking at the view. He didn't waste a minute. Let's head down the hill and find out what kind of people come to the lodge. Well, there are men who have nothing but skiing on their minds. Or at least they say they have nothing but skiing on their minds. And there are women who don't believe it. And here's the kitchen help during a coffee break. When someone says, how about a big hand for the cooks, everyone rushes from the dining room to the ski grill and applaud. On the far side of the pool is an off-duty dishwasher, watching the girls and keeping an eye open for jaybirds, since he's also a bird watcher. He's a bird-watching, dishwashing girl watcher, which one should not try to say aloud at a time like this, because into the pool comes a skier who thought someone called for a dish-watching girl washer. But that's the sort of thing that happens only in movies more foreign than this one. And now it's hot cocoa time, unless you find something else hanging around the bottom of the swivel stick. Ted Michelle sees into the lodge and asks us to follow him. As Molly says, did someone put too much wax on the floors again? And this is how it is when you come off the mountain. You touches that you didn't even use. He circles the balcony, admires the view, and scoots to the bar to watch the fastest gun in the West. And to admire the handiwork of Timberline Lodge, which was built with slave labor during the days of St. Roosevelt. And we find a WPA worker on his way down because he finally accepts the fact that the Depression is over. We count the house, eye one of the grand oils, look at the lamps, and then into a guest room where a fetching skier is practicing the zigzag snowplow. We proceed to the pool where they are still applauding the cook. Then down the hall, past the ski shop and the gift shop, and up to the fireplace where we scan the bulletin board and find that the Blue Ox Bar is just ahead. This is a skier who woke up in the snow in the lotus position. And he liked it so much that he refuses to unravel. So he organized a group and decided to hold a convention. And like many conventions at Timberline, this one ends at the Blue Ox Bar. On the surface, the conventions are conventional. But see what happens when they roll up the rugs and push the sofas to the wall. And thus, while the visiting nurse draws on her working gloves, a member of the ski patrol fills a therapeutic tub. Since this is something of a workout for all of us. And eyes it critically. Then he prepares the Timberline high-altitude nightcap for the man who wants to get higher than 6,000 feet. The special glass goes into orbit. There are special glasses for almost everything at Timberline Lodge. And so we leave, as Dick Kohnstamm, manager of Timberline, who believes in giving his guests the best of everything, but who likes to try it out first on himself, eats the sandwich, but waves off the bowl, saying, "I ordered something dry." And here it comes.
Å tenke seg til at det finnes mennesker som ikke vet at det er nu som de leter efter.